Welcome back, everybody. This is Steve with the V-Twin Racing Channel. Been a while since we put out a video. I've been really working to get everything ready to go for the season. OG bike. I just got to do fluid changes on it, get the brake-in oil out of it, change the engine and the primary fluid. This silver thing. Finally got it running. Still got to make some kind of a vent pipe tube thing, whatever, for where the enricher used to be on the carburetor, because apparently it won't run with a freaking choke in it. Have to take it clear out. So somebody's modified something on this thing, and that's the only way it'll run right, if you completely remove it from the carburetor. So its fluids are changed on this one. Been getting a lot of rain here. I need to run this up the road, but when I do that, I live back in the woods. I have to trailer the bikes down the 1/8 mile driveway to get them out on a road. So I still have yet to do that. We've got a week for the first round at Farmington, so we're also working on Riley Jones Sportster. So stick around for a minute. We'll go in and have a look at that. All right, here we are back in the dungeon. You can see some of the things I had to do to this was when we mocked the wheel up, I had some 1-inch spacers, wheel spacers, and I had to replace those with 3/4 inch ID spacers to match this axle, so all that stuff was stay square and straight and all that other jazz. Come up with a couple fittings and some snap rings. Explain that in a minute. The fittings are going to be for the air tank. Got to tee off one side of the bottle for a fill spot right here, and then we're going to run the line up for the gauge so the rider can see it. You can see we've been working on the wiring. Still got a little ways to go on that. Not too far, but a little bit. I've used these plugs, and I've used these on both of my bikes, and I don't know what's going on with these things here recently, but I can't get these pins to stay in the plug. They just keep falling out, popping out. They won't lock in. I don't know. Some Amazon shit. I'm not really going to fight with it. So unfortunately, and it's not really that unfortunate, but this stuff's just going to get direct wired with butt connectors. It's not really what I want to do, but it's what I got to do. You can see here we got the fuse panel. I got your keel box. Still got some little bit of work to do on the air shifter. Again, like I said, I got to mount that bottle. The snap ring. Those that know, these little Harley pins right here. They take a little snap ring on the bottom, right there, and whenever they took the 07 bike apart, to use this front end on this bike, they just stripped a bunch of stuff and they lost a lot of things. They lost that clip, they lost some bolts for the thing, they lost a lot of things, so we've been trying to replace. So, making some really good progress on this. I got them a quart of primary fluid, and this engine, when it was on my bike, I ran the Rotella 1540, so we're just going to continue running that because its engine seems to like that oil. Still got to bleed the brakes, get the brakes up on it. Tommy's going to bring me a battery. He's going to bring me the petcock so we can run the fuel line. He got himself a real nice velocity stack. That's pretty nice. Got it off eBay. Actually, it's pretty nice. Fits a Makuni. It's really nice. Really nice little deal. Way better than them ones that used to be available on Amazon, but you can't get anymore. It's got him a 2-in-1 pipe. We're still working to adjust the stroke on this brake pedal, try to get it up a little bit higher. I'm not sure what else I can actually do with that. I've let it out quite a bit in the cylinder. I have to keep going with that, see how high I can get it. And Tommy's got some work to do yet on his chain guard and some other stuff, and we're gonna actually relocate the tail light. We're gonna get away from this, which is actually really neat. I like it. I like the way it mounts and everything, but what I don't like about it is more Chinese shit that has 15 different wires coming out of it for different colors and all this other shit. So we're gonna put same thing that I put on my OG, which is a standard, like a trucker LED light. We're gonna put it here or here or something, probably down here, I don't know. But if we mount it up here on a bracket, then we can just run the wiring, you know, nice and neat, tucked inside down through there. But yeah, so that's this current status on Riley's bike. That's where we're at with this. Did y'all ever have chickens wander up in your... What are you guys doing? Get out of here. Get out of there. Go on. Come on. Chicken, 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 chicken. Come on, get out of there. Bark, bark, bark. Come on, I don't want you shitting on my motorcycles. Come on. Okay, so there's a 07 frame that I took in trade from Jones's. Actually, it was kind of a carcass of a bike. Unfortunately, it had 883 heads, and basically what I wanted this for was a spare bottom end for mine. You guys can see the pollen. It's terrible down here right now. So this 883 was actually a 1200 conversion. You can see the dish pistons to work, you know, to knock the compression down with the 883 head. But I don't really care. I just needed the flywheels. It would have been nice to have a nice set of 07 1200 heads of spares. Basically, I need the cases, the flywheels, and the transmission. That's all I needed that for. So, here's an interesting tidbit. Before I pulled the engine off of that, I pulled the heads, and I actually test fit a twin cam head to the back cylinder, which is the tightest on the frame. It fits. It fits. Which means I could put the Twinster package on my rubber mounted bike, which I really need to get rid of that rubber mounted bike. It's not exactly what I would call an ideal situation. So you guys can see the motorhome is not here right now. It's out getting serviced. Hopefully I get it back in time to go racing. So let's wrap this up. All right, so here we are hanging out in the trailer. I'm going to give you guys some parting shots on the bikes here just so you can see. But these two bikes are quite a bit to keep up with. I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it. I have good days and bad days. So I've had really a rough run with these things. I don't know if how many of you have followed the channel, but let's just say this bike right here started life as it was a 2007 fuel injected 1200 Sportster. When I bought it originally, it was a stock engine with a turbo kit on it. And I was pretty excited about that when I bought it. I bought the bike for, and keep in mind, it has the sport bike front end, the chromoly arm, and all that stuff was on it when I bought it. And I paid $10,000 for this bike. And what I quickly learned was that it didn't make enough horsepower to actually spool the turbo up. Like, I put a 2-step on it. I put a Turbo Smart wastegate actuator on it, an adjustable wastegate actuator. It had Power Commander 5, I think, with a 2-bar map sensor, so it had everything it needed. But I just never could get this thing to build boost off the starting line. It would wait until halfway down the track. It would mile per hour real well, but honestly, my bracket bike would outrun it. So after, I don't know, 4 or 5 months of struggling with it, I decided to tear it down. And I sent the flywheels to Dark Horse. And I sent the cylinder heads, the 07 cylinder heads, to Hammer Performance. And I bought a brand new 1275 high compression 1275 kit with his BFH head service, which is his max effort head service. It's got the really big solid lifter cams in it, adjustable push rods, and you can see when I first tried to run that last year in that configuration, when I finally got it together towards the end of the season, I wasn't very impressed with it for all the money I spent on that engine. And I had a 48 Mikuni carburetor on it. And most of the guys, well, all the guys in non-bagger that are fast, that are contenders, they run the Super D, S&S Super D carburetor. So what I proceeded to do was, let's get a look here real quick, if we can. You guys can see that Super D, that Novi, that you can't get anymore. Steve Allstat design. Paid $500 for that. S&S Super D carburetor, $1,000. Not including all the jets and everything else I've had to buy to work on it. And I had to get a different bowl because the other bowl that it came with was so long it was hitting the header. The intake manifold is an S&S. I got lucky. Chad Hart had one left. He had one left, and I bought it. And I paid him X amount of dollars. He welded up, reported it to make it work. So the bike had a brand new Dyna 2000i ignition on it. Last year I scrapped that, bought a Daytona Twin Tech 1005T 2-step. It has a 2-step switch mounted on mounted on the clutch, so I don't want any confusion about what I'm doing with the 2-step. So launch RPM, to be consistent with launch RPM, unless I mount like 2 shift lights on it or something ridiculous like that. Speaking of which, the shift light keeps falling off of it. But anyway, I got to tie that up. So to launch it at a consistent RPM, I use the 2-step, so that when I just put it all the way to the wood, it's at that RPM. I still got to let go of the clutch, right? Still got to let go of the clutch. I'm not just going, pow. I'm letting go of the clutch. But with the 2-step, I have a consistent launch RPM. And I can adjust that to work on my 60-foot times or even my clutch hand. So I've got a lot of work to do in here. Try to 60-foot this bike. I'm about 0.3 of a second off the pace on 60 foots right now. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. That's a lot. I did get rid of the shocks on the bike. I put struts on it. We'll see. So I think that's all I got for today, guys. Keep an eye out, because once we get to we're going to go to the 4 Oaks because our race team is the race host for the season opener of the All Harley World Shootout. I'm pretty humbled by that. That's may not be a big deal to some, but it's an honor for me. So we'll be at the Four Oaks pre-party in Mocksville, North Carolina, Thursday night before the race starts, with the bikes on display. There'll be some video footage of that. We're gonna have some really good coverage of this race weekend coming up. So I want you guys to stay tuned, and don't forget to hit that like button. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Thanks. Have a good one.